Play some cash games as well as some tournaments both here at Bally's and in other locations. So yeah, I'm dabbling, I'm firing here and there. No bracelets to report, no major scores to report, but very much in the hunt. And yeah, just looking forward to the rest of it. Of course, the main event is just around the corner, and then there's actually a World Poker Tour event that's happening at the Venetian in July. So going to be firing at several of those events as well, and will be fun to really dive into the rest of the series here. Yes, I've been focusing mostly on Potlum Omaha these days. The cash game scene in Vegas especially, a lot of professionals and semi-pros and the locals have made for some tougher and tougher no-limit games over the years, but it feels like Potlum Omaha remains a little bit more of a Wild West and unstudied. So I've been enjoying getting into the PLO, and as a result, trying to also focus more on the PLO tournaments as well. So typically, I'm not really one to build out a proper schedule and decide I'm going to play all these events in particular. I think that comes from the cash game background and also just the way I look at life, I think, in general. So yeah, I guess I'll see which PLO events are happening and when, and then try and get after those a little bit more, but also keeping an eye on what's available and what's upcoming in the no limits side of things as well. So there's always there's definitely some fun ones in the mix there. There's the tag team event, which is a really special one. You know, it's fun to play that one, and then you see all the partners and their teammates on the rail and rooting them on and stuff like that. Like that just doesn't really happen all that often in a regular tournament. So it's cool to play that one, even though we bricked it. And then yeah, there's always like the occasional event along the way in no limits that I'll just keep my eye on and see what's happening. But yeah, as far as scheduling goes, not my strong suit. When it comes to tournament structures, I am not the one to ask because, again, from a cash game background, honestly, I don't know if a good structure is one that's going to benefit me because I feel like there's going to be a lot of really good, strong tournament professionals in the mix, and they're also going to be allowed to re-enter into a lot of these events. They're going to fire multiple bullets, and they're going to have a lot of chances to sort of exert their edge on the field. So if I have a worse structure, maybe that benefits me. Maybe if it's more of a turbo structure, there's more variance in there. The tournament pros aren't going to have as strong of an edge, and therefore I'll do better. So I don't know. So yeah, when it comes to Potlum Omaha, there's going to be a lot of sort of habits that you might bring over from the no limit background. Like I do think it makes a lot of sense to start as a poker player with no limit. Potlum Omaha is going to be more complicated with 4 cards and more combinations that you can make out of your hand, and there's a lot more information that you can try and work your way through when you have more cards. So yeah, you're gonna have some habits that you bring over from no limit. And it's just going to take some proper dedication and study to the game itself, and you're going to achieve that either through a coach or through a training site, most likely. And I've sort of done both of those. I've been working with Dylan Weissman on the Potlum Omaha. Of course, me as a content creator and not just a poker professional and poker grinder these days like I was in the past, I'm not going to have all the time that I would like to sort of devote and improve my game. So I'm just going to have to, do what I can and live with the results as slowly or as quickly as they come, while also, making videos and, again, traveling to the lodge down in Austin and traveling for the World Poker Tour and all these different things. So yeah, devoting time to study where I can, watching training videos and firing hands over to my coach. But also, doing all these other things at the same time. We're just gonna have to hope for the best here and capture it and continue to share it with people along the way. Yeah, so the lodge partnership and ownership has been really fun. Of course, it's going to be a learning experience because that's something that I've never done before. I don't have any managerial or operational experience within a card room or a casino. But the good news is that those guys were doing such an awesome job with the lodge before myself and Doug Polk and Brad Owen became co-owners. That we can just sort of let them continue to do their thing with it. The management team, the ownership there that was there before us, they've done a phenomenal job to make it one of many people's favorite places to play poker. And we got so much positive feedback from people that played there before I played there, and it's cool to see just so many such a community vibe down there, and a lot of happy employees, of course. Makes it a happy place to be and to play poker. So yeah, there's another tournament series coming up that we're going to run in September after all this stuff is a wrap. So if you're looking for something to do post WSOP, great to see some more faces down there at the lodge. But yeah, it's been awesome. It's like a dream team of co-owners and partners to work together on a project. So if you're newer to poker, I think one thing that will probably help you a lot is making sure that you swallow your ego and you put yourself out there and you share hands with other players, other winning players ideally. And so you can do that. I know at CardsChat there's the forums where people can post hands and share them and analyze them. And there's some good players, some professional players that hang out in the forums. So you're going to want to try and get as much feedback as possible, despite the fact that you probably butchered a hand and you made mistakes. The good news is that even the professionals and these very good players, they still make mistakes all the time. And so they're also sharing hands with other, fellow pros and coaches and things like that. So you really want to do the hard work that it takes in such a competitive endeavor that is poker. You're gonna have to, swallow that ego and just sort of be willing to accept the criticism of how you played a hand and look to improve and go from there. And then as far as World Series goes, it's cool because there's a pretty wide variety of buy-ins. So I'm sure you'll probably want to get your feet wet in the local card room or casino, play some low stakes out there. And then, there's a lot of recreational players in these fields. So if you hop into a $500 tournament, $500 bracelet event, sure there'll be some pros in there, which is cool to sort of maybe get in a hand or two with them. But you'll also find that there's lots of recreational players in there too. So even though it's such a prestigious event, you shouldn't really be too intimidated because lots of beginners in the mix too. So go ahead, get some experience locally, and then hop in there.